Soldiers, we approach the gates! Yes, my lord. Formation ready. Forward to the walls!
Welcome to Treasures from God's Word. Join us as we explore the riches of the Bible.
Hi, guys, and welcome to Treasures from God's Word. Please subscribe so we can grow the family. Let's begin. We live in a time when words are used as weapons. Threatening words, mocking words, fear-inducing words, news headlines, social pressure, persecution, and even personal attacks can shake our confidence. But Jehovah reminds us, words alone do not determine reality. What matters is who stands behind those words. Today, we will examine a powerful Bible account that teaches us how Jehovah's people can remain fearless when intimidating words are spoken against them. Our theme is, "Do not be afraid because of the words that you heard." The Rabshakeh arrives to intimidate Jehovah's people. Isaiah 36:1-2. Jerusalem was under serious threat. Assyria was the world's power of the day, known for its cruelty and military dominance. King Sennacherib had already overrun many fortified cities of Judah. Humanly speaking, Jerusalem appeared next. While Sennacherib remained at Lachish with the main army, he sent a high-ranking delegation to Jerusalem. The spokesman was called the Rabshakeh, not a personal name, but a military title. This man was highly skilled, confident, and deliberately intimidating. Notice something important. He chose to speak in Hebrew, the common language of the people. Why? Because his goal was not negotiation, it was psychological warfare. He wanted everyone on the city wall to hear, to feel afraid, and to lose hope. This teaches us an important lesson. When Jehovah's people are under attack, the goal is often not physical harm first, but fear. He tried to make them feel weak and hopeless. Isaiah 36:8. The Rabshakeh mocked Judah's military ability. In effect, he said, "Even if we gave you thousands of horses, you wouldn't have enough trained soldiers to use them." What was he trying to do? He wanted Jehovah's people to measure their situation only by human standards. But Jehovah's word helps us see matters clearly. The Bible explains that military preparation alone does not bring victory. Deliverance comes from Jehovah. Armies, technology, and numbers do not decide outcomes when Jehovah is involved. So the Rabshakeh's argument, though loud and confident, was actually meaningless. This is very relevant today. Opposers may say, "You are too small. You are not educated enough. You have no influence." But Jehovah has never depended on numbers. He depends on faithfulness. He claimed Jehovah was not on their side. Isaiah 36:9-10. The Rabshakeh then made a bold and deceitful claim. He suggested that Jehovah himself had allowed Assyria to advance, and therefore must be supporting them. This was a dangerous lie. Satan often uses the same tactic today. When Jehovah's people face hardship, opposers may say, "If God were with you, this wouldn't be happening." Your suffering proves you are wrong. But difficulty does not mean Jehovah's disapproval. In fact, the Bible shows that Jehovah often allows pressure to test faith, refine loyalty, and demonstrate his power at the right moment. Jehovah had not abandoned Jerusalem. He was allowing events to unfold for a greater purpose. He ridiculed their trust in Jehovah and their leaders. Isaiah 36:7-18-20. The Rabshakeh then attacked two things: their trust in Jehovah, their confidence in Hezekiah's leadership. He pointed to the defeat of Samaria and other nations and said, in effect, "Where were their gods? What makes you think Jehovah is different?" But here is what he failed to understand. There was a huge difference between Jerusalem and those other nations. Samaria had turned away from true worship. Jerusalem, under Hezekiah, had removed false worship and restored obedience to Jehovah. False gods cannot save. Jehovah can and does. Still, notice the remarkable restraint shown by Jehovah's servants. The representatives of Judah did not argue, did not shout back, and did not defend themselves. They obeyed the king's instruction to remain silent. Sometimes, faith means knowing when not to respond. Silence, trust, and Jehovah's final word. Isaiah 36, 21, 22. The officials returned and reported everything to King Hezekiah. They did not minimize the threat, but they also did not panic. This teaches us something powerful. Faith does not deny reality, but it refuses to be ruled by fear. Jehovah would soon respond, not with words, but with action. And history records what happened next. Sennacherib's campaign against Jerusalem ended in complete failure. His threats collapsed, his army was neutralized, and Jerusalem was saved, not by military strength, but by Jehovah's intervention. Please don't forget to subscribe. The account of the Rabshakeh is not just ancient history. Jehovah preserved this record because the same tactics are still being used against his people today. Although the setting has changed, the methods of intimidation remain strikingly similar. Let us carefully consider several practical lessons we can apply in our daily Christian life. Lesson 1. Not every loud voice deserves a response. The Rabshakeh spoke loudly, confidently, and publicly. His words echoed against Jerusalem's walls, designed to stir panic. Yet Jehovah's servants did something remarkable. They remained silent. This teaches us that volume does not equal authority. Just because someone speaks forcefully does not mean they are right. Today, opposers may use social media news outlets, academic arguments, workplace pressure, family ridicule. Sometimes they demand an immediate response, but wisdom teaches us that silence can be a form of strength. There are moments when the best response is calm endurance and trust that Jehovah will speak in his own time. Silence is not weakness when it is motivated by faith. Lesson 2. Fear often begins with distorted comparisons. The Rabshakeh compared Jerusalem to nations that had already fallen. His argument was simple. They were destroyed, so you will be too. But this comparison ignored one critical factor: Jehovah. Today, fear can grow when we compare ourselves to others. Other religions are larger. Others seem more successful. Others are more accepted by the world. But Jehovah has never measured success the way humans do. His people have often been few in number, yet fully supported by him. When comparisons push Jehovah out of the picture, fear grows. When Jehovah is placed back at the center, fear fades. Lesson 3. Opposition often targets trust in Jehovah's organization. Notice that the Rabshakeh did not attack Jehovah alone. He attacked Hezekiah as well. His goal was to weaken confidence in both spiritual leadership and divine guidance. This is still happening today. Opposers may say, "You trust men too much. Your leaders are misleading you. You should think independently." Jehovah's people are not asked to follow blindly, but we are encouraged to recognize that Jehovah uses imperfect humans to accomplish his will. Throughout history, Jehovah has always worked through organization, structure, and leadership. Undermining confidence in Jehovah's arrangements is one of Satan's most effective tools. Lesson 5. Jehovah always responds, but not on human timetables. Jehovah did not silence the Rabshakeh immediately. He allowed the threats to be spoken fully. Why? Because Jehovah's response would leave no doubt about who was responsible for the outcome. Similarly, Jehovah may allow opposers today to speak, threaten, or mock for a time. This does not mean he approves. It means he is allowing matters to reach a point where his intervention will be unmistakable. Patience, therefore, becomes an essential part of faith. Whose voice will we listen to? The account of the Rabshakeh forces us to ask a personal question: whose voice has the greatest influence on us? The Rabshakeh spoke with confidence. Sennacherib had a record of victories. The situation looked bleak, yet none of that determined the outcome. Jehovah did. History remembers the Rabshakeh not as a victor, but as a warning. His words faded, his threats failed, his confidence collapsed. Jerusalem stood not because of walls, weapons, or numbers, but because Jehovah was there. Today we also hear many voices, voices of fear, voices of doubt, voices of ridicule, voices that challenge our faith. Some are loud, some sound convincing, some appeal to logic or emotion, but Jehovah's voice is steady, calm, and reliable. He does not shout, he does not boast, he does not threaten, he promises. When Jehovah says, "Do not be afraid," it is not empty reassurance. It is a statement backed by action, past, present, and future. As Jehovah's people, we can be confident of this. No threat will succeed unless Jehovah allows it. No enemy will prevail unless Jehovah steps aside, and he never does for those loyal to him. So when intimidating words are spoken, whether by opposers, circumstances, or our own anxious thoughts, let us remember Jerusalem's walls, the silent officials, and the God who acted decisively. Let us listen, not to fear-filled voices, but to Jehovah, because in the end, Jehovah always has the final word. Please subscribe. Thanks.
Soldiers, we approach the gates! Yes, my lord. Formation ready. Forward to the walls!